There's a moment every gardener knows. You wake up early. The sun is just coming up. You step outside with your cup of tea or maybe your coffee, and you walk toward your garden expecting to see progress. But instead, holes in your leaves, plants that look tired and weak, and something, you don't even know what yet, has already been eating what you worked so hard to grow. You look around, you check under the leaves, you feel that familiar knot in your stomach. And in that moment, it feels like you're losing a battle you never even signed up for. I know that feeling. I've stood in that exact spot more times than I want to admit. But today, I want to tell you something that completely changed the way I garden, and once you hear it, you won't be able to unsee it. The problem was never the pests. For years, I approached my garden like a battlefield. Insects showed up, I removed them. Something went wrong, I fixed it fast. I bought sprays, I tried traps, I pulled out damaged plants and replaced them. And every single season followed the same exhausting pattern. Temporary solutions, recurring problems, more frustration. I kept thinking, why does this keep happening? I'm doing everything right, I'm working hard. Why does nature keep pushing back? Then one afternoon, I came across the journal of a farmer, an old man who had been growing food on the same land for over 40 years. No chemicals, no expensive equipment, and season after season, his crops were consistently healthy. I expected to find some secret technique, some special formula, but what he wrote was surprisingly simple. He said, "I stopped trying to control my garden. I started trying to understand it." That one line stopped me cold, because I realized I had been gardening with my ego, trying to dominate nature instead of learn from it. And that's when everything started to shift. A healthy garden doesn't fight nature. Now, here's something most gardening channels won't say out loud, because it's not exciting and it doesn't sell products. Pests are not random. They don't just show up one morning because they felt like it. They are attracted. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed how pests always seem to hit the weakest plant first? The one in the corner that's been struggling, the one with yellowing leaves? That's not a coincidence. Pests are nature's cleanup crew. They are biologically programmed to find weakness, weak soil, stressed plants, broken ecosystems. So when pests keep coming back to your garden is actually sending you a message. It's saying something here is out of balance. And the moment you understand that, you stop chasing symptoms and start solving the real problem. Fix the imbalance, and you don't just reduce pests, you prevent them. Let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through 6 principles that work together as a system. Not 6 random tips, a system. And when you apply all of them, your garden changes fundamentally. Principle 1, build living soil. Everything, and I mean everything, starts beneath the surface. Most people think of soil as just dirt, the stuff you put plants in. But healthy soil is one of the most complex living ecosystems on Earth. A single teaspoon of rich garden soil contains more microorganisms than there are people on this planet. These microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, tiny creatures you'll never see, they break down nutrients, fight disease, and feed your plants at the root level. When your soil is rich and alive, your plants grow stronger from the inside out. Thicker stems, deeper roots, better resistance to stress. And here's the key. Strong plants don't attract pests the same way weak plants do. So where do you start? Compost. Even a small amount of good compost worked into your soil consistently will transform your garden within 1 to 2 seasons. You don't need expensive products. Kitchen scraps, dried leaves, grass clippings, that's all it takes. Builds the soil, and the soil builds your garden. Principle 2, stop monocropping. Here's one that might surprise you. One of the biggest reasons home gardens struggle with pests has nothing to do with the pest itself. It has to do with how we plant. Most gardeners plant in rows, same crop side by side all the way down the bed. Tomatoes together, cabbage together, beans together. It looks clean, it looks organized, it feels logical. But to a pest, it's a runway. Think about it from the pest's perspective. If you're an aphid and you land on a row of 30 identical plants, you've just found an all-you-can-eat buffet with no obstacles and no effort. Pests thrive on repetition. They evolved to find patterns and exploit them. So break the pattern. Mix your crops. Plant basil between your tomatoes. Tuck marigolds along the border. Add a row of onions near your carrots. This is called companion planting, and farmers have used it for thousands of years. Not because it looks nice, because it works. When you break the pattern, you break the pest's advantage. Principle 3, invite the right insects. Here's something that might change the way you see your garden forever. Of all the insect species on Earth, less than 1% are considered agricultural pests. Less than 1%. The rest, they're neutral, or they're actively working in your favor. Ladybugs eat aphids, lacewings eat mites and whiteflies, ground beetles hunt caterpillars, parasitic wasps, which are tiny and harmless to humans, lay eggs inside the very pests destroying your crops. Your garden already has an army, you just haven't invited them in. The problem is, most gardeners use broad-spectrum sprays that kill everything, the pests and the protectors. And when the protectors are gone, the pests come back faster than ever, with no competition. So instead of spraying, invite. Plant flowers that beneficial insects love: dill, fennel, yarrow, sweet alyssum along the edge. Create a space where these insects can feed, shelter, and reproduce. And instead of you reacting every week, your garden starts defending itself. Principle 4, water with intention. This one catches people off guard every time. Overwatering is one of the leading causes of pest problems in home gardens. Not underwatering, overwatering. Here's why. When you water too often, the soil stays constantly wet. That weakens root development because roots only grow deep when they're searching for water. Shallow roots mean weak plants, and wet soil creates the perfect breeding environment for fungus gnats, root rot, slugs, and disease. The fix is counterintuitive but simple. Water deeply but less often. Instead of light watering every day, water thoroughly twice a week and let the soil dry out slightly between sessions. Push your finger 2 inches into the soil. If it's still damp, wait. Let the roots reach. Let the soil breathe. When your plants are properly balanced, stressed just enough to grow strong, everything else follows. Principle 5, observe daily. This is the simplest principle and possibly the most powerful. Spend 10 minutes in your garden every single day, not to work, just to see. Walk slowly, crouch down, look under leaves. That's where most pests lay their eggs and hide during the day. Check along stems. Look at the soil near the base of plants. Here's what daily observation does that nothing else can. It gives you a 2-week head start. By the time a pest problem is visible from a distance, it's already been developing for weeks underground or on the undersides of leaves you haven't checked. But when you're looking every day, you catch one egg cluster before it becomes 1,000. You notice one yellowing leaf before it spreads. You see the early signs that your watering or soil needs adjustment. Small problems are easy to fix. Ignored problems grow fast. 10 minutes a day, that's all it takes to stay ahead. Principle 6, work with natural balance. This is where most gardeners, even experienced ones, get it wrong. They go to war. Every insect is an enemy. Every hole in a leaf is a failure. Every sign of damage triggers a response. Spray, remove, eliminate. But let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a forest devastated by aphids? Have you ever walked through a wild meadow and thought, this place is losing the battle against pests? Of course not, because in nature, balance exists. Yes, pests are there. They've always been there. But so are the predators, the fungi, the soil bacteria that break down weak plants and return nutrients to the earth. Everything is in a constant, dynamic conversation. Your garden can work the same way, if you let it. A resilient garden doesn't aim for 0 pests, it aims for balance. A few aphids exist, but the ladybugs keep them in check. A caterpillar or 2 feeds a bird. The bird comes back and patrols your beds. Once you understand this, you stop gardening with fear and start gardening with wisdom. You stop asking, how do I kill this? And start asking, what does my garden need to be stronger? That shift changes everything. When you apply these 6 principles together, not 1 or 2, but all of them as a system, something powerful happens. Your garden stabilizes. Not overnight, but season by season, you start to notice something different. Less damage after rain, less stress after a dry spell, plants that recover faster, pests that come but don't take over. You stop dreading early morning walks in the garden. You start looking forward to them. Because your garden is no longer a problem you're managing. It's a living system you're learning, and it keeps getting better the more you understand it. So the next time you step outside and see holes in your leaves, don't panic. Don't reach for a spray bottle. Pause, crouch down, look closely, and ask yourself, what is my garden trying to tell me? Because your garden is always communicating through the color of its leaves, the texture of the soil, the insects it attracts, the plants that struggle and the ones that thrive. It's all information, and the more you learn to read it, the less you'll ever have to fight it. That's what gardening has taught me, not how to control nature, but how to listen to it. Now I want to hear from you. After watching this, are you a fighter or a partner with your garden? Drop it in the comments. One word, fighter or partner. I read every single one. And if one of these 6 principles hit different for you, tell me which one, because your comment might just be the video I make next. If you want more simple, natural strategies to grow a healthier, more resilient garden, subscribe to Evergreen Garden. No chemicals, no complicated systems, just gardening that actually works.